Okay, this is the Town of Babel Board. Today is November 30th, 2020. We have several items on the agenda here today. Item A is a work session. Plan review of motel hotel change of zone, job 1936 AGE Farmingdale Hospitality Partners.
Mr. Chairman, this was on January 6th, and I think all of the items have been satisfied. And maybe Mr. Esposito has further information.
Matt?
Yeah. All departmental comments are satisfied. This is the hotel located on Route 110, adjacent to the 4 development. They received their change of zone approval this past August from the town board, and all departmental comments are satisfied. We do have to close the record first on page 5.
Okay. Do any of the board members have any questions regarding any of the departmental reviews? No? Hearing none?
Yeah.
All right. So first, we need a motion to close the record. Motion by Dan, second by Michael. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The record is closed. Let's go to item B, which is a declaration. Secret determination.
Ready to be adopted.
Okay. Could I have a motion to approve the negative declaration as per the site plan review? Motion by Julianne, second by Jerry. All
Second.
in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Okay. Item C, resolution site plan motel review. This is to approve the site plan. Is that correct?
Yes, and the site plan resolution is in good order, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Any questions regarding the site plan? No? Okay. Motion, Frank. Second by Julianne. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Okay. Next page. Item D, Planning Board Job 1833A, Walter Wozlowski.
Yes,
You don't
this
have
is
the-
an application
You sure?
located on the north side of
I
Meredith
wasn't
Road.
looking.
It was an old house next to the veterinary's office. It's being demolished, the structure, in order to construct a 2-story building for 6 one-bedroom units. They've gone to the zoning board of appeals. They received a use variance for apartments, residential and easement zone, as well as other dimensional variances. That was granted later last year, and all departmental comments have been satisfied. We do have to close the record first on page 6.
All right. Any questions? No? Okay. Motion, Jerry, to close the record. Second by Ed. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Okay. Item E, regarding CEQA, a negative declaration for the site plan review for Planning Board Job 1833A.
Secret determinations in order, ready to be adopted.
Okay. Any questions? No, hearing none. A motion by Dan, second by Michael. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Item F is a resolution to approve the site plan for Planning Board Job 1833A, Walter Wozlowski.
Resolution is ready for consideration, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Any questions?
No.
Motion by Michael, second by Frank. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Item G, architectural review of application 135961 Dingle Bay Enterprises, construction of a new house.
Everything is in good order with this application. It's a new house, it's located in Deer Park.
Okay. Let's see, motion by Julianne.
I'm abstaining on this.
You're going to abstain? Okay. A motion by Jerry,
Motion.
second by Ed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. All right, we go to item H, communications, a letter dated November 9th from Ronald Epstein, Deputy Executive Commissioner of New York State.
Don't forget, Mr. Chairman, of the letter that we saw and was read on the night of the presentation.
Right. Okay, read and filed. Another letter dated November 9th from the town of Huntington, informing the town of a scheduled public hearing, read and filed. Item 3, letter dated November 12th from Melissa Firmas, Copic Chamber of Commerce, Grace states expressing approval for the applicant's proposal. Right, we have one on the reserve calendar. This is,
Hang on to that. Hearing was adjourned and there's no new date.
oh, okay, correct, right, okay, that was there last month, okay.
And the minutes
Let's
still
go
pending.
to, the minutes are pending
Yep.
for November 16th?
Mhm.
Okay. All right, let's flip to the reserve calendar, page 4, December 3rd. Item 1, job 1503A, Crossroads Shopping Center.
So the planning department is still working with the applicant, for discussions of potential alternatives for development at this location. So those conversations are still ongoing. We recommend extending the record to January 25th, 2021.
Okay, could I have a motion by Ed to extend the record? That was to January 25th,
Motion.
2021. Motion by Ed, second by Jerry. All in favor? Approved. Okay, page 5, January 6th.
We already closed the record on that.
All right, so that's closed. Okay, so that's done. Let's move to, let's see, was it page 7?
Page 7, we also took care of that.
Okay, we did take care of that. Okay, page 7. All right, so that's it for the reserve. Let's head over to the addendum. Okay, architectural review, application 136225, GNR Building Corp., construction of a new house.
Everything is in good order with this application. New house, no further outstanding comments.
Okay. Let's see, motion to approve by Dan,
Motion.
second by Michael. All in favor? Approved. Item 2, application 135620. Again, this is it. How do I pronounce that? Shabert.
Voicemail, he referred to himself as Dan, so I'll call him Dan. Shabert.
Okay, that's good. Anyway, tell us about Dan's house.
Old Farmingdale Road in West Babylon, new house, 2-story colonial. All departmental comments are satisfied, meeting all our requirements, putting in new drainage, roof drainage. I don't believe a variance was needed. I think it met all setbacks.
Okay,
The larger lot.
all right. Motion by Michael, second by Frank. All in favor? Approved. Item 3, application 134192, Jessica Higgins.
Sorry, everything is in order with this application as well. This is just a second story addition to the existing ranch.
Motion by Julianne,
Motion.
second by Jerry.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. What else? What else? Anything?
More meetings the next 2 weeks, and then we're off for the rest of the year.
Okay.
Yeah, just a quick comment on the Acadia development, which is near the airport. And I sent around a memo after Mr. Grove had given us some preliminary information. And basically, right now, the approval that we have expired in November, the letter of no hazard from the FAA. And we'll be requesting a new one of those, or an updated one, which had to be requested even in advance. The applicant may or may not have that in their possession. We'll await that and then move it along to further site plan considerations. But the FAA has issued in the past, the no hazard declaration. And that is what the code requires in respect to the airport protection area zone. So, Mr. Grove?
Yeah, and I just would point out, we got that letter from Mr. Epstein opposing the Acadia, but the airport parking within a runway protection zone. So it's kind of ironic that, you know, we're getting a letter of opposition, but they're doing exactly what they're recommending against.
Right, and in furtherance of that particular point, their protocol there is to evaluate the hazard that's there, and it specifically says that if there's a no hazard letter, that it's not a prohibition against this development in that zone, unless it's controlled by the airport owner and or operator. So they had an opportunity to control this property. They don't have that currently. They've issued a no hazard letter. So why they're vehemently and verbally opposed to this development is for the board to, you know, consider as we look at the site plan, you know, aspects here.
Okay. Any questions? I have a question for Matt. This is the first time I've been on the board where a proposal has come and we have no idea who the tenants are.
Yeah, I think that large of a development, I think it's pretty tough in the retail market. I mean, I don't think it's uncommon to not know all the tenants, but yeah, I think from my conversations with Acadia, they are a nationwide, you know, real estate developers that focus in retail, so they feel pretty confident that once they have approvals in place, they're, you know, it's pretty tough to market a building until people think it's real, right? You have your permits, you have your approvals from your boards, but they feel that they have a large enough portfolio and reach that they would be able to then find tenants to occupy this center. I'll point out, you know, the conversations we had in planning with them were to consider this idea of restaurants, because we've seen across all of our shopping centers in the town, retail, you know, is not what it used to be. It's struggling, and then we do a site plan approval, and then we come back for a modified to add a restaurant and add a restaurant, because now it's changing our parking calc. So I think they've put in a conservative, you know, estimate of, you know, 1,200 plus restaurant seats in the center, and then, you know, also accommodating for some larger typical box, you know, large big box retail stores. And then one other thing I'll just point out with regards to the site plan, I know it wasn't here, but I did watch and, you know, read some minutes and got some notes from Brian. Some of the concerns that were raised by the public, particularly with regards to East Carmen Road.
Right.
We did resend those plans over to our highway department to take a second look, and they are recommending they provide some new grading and added a few dry wells or catch basins on the road to help capture any other drainage issues. So I think that was a good thing that we caught. And then we're also going to look at it from planning. And I think we'd probably recommend a fence as well. If that's a fair point. And I think we probably would want to stick to something rather than the typical black chain link with vinyl slats. It's kind of a waste with all the beautiful landscaping that they're putting in. Maybe something in the more of like an estate style or a wrought iron type fence where you can still see through and see the you know, expansive landscaping that's going in, but also still preventing that pedestrian cut through and concerns for the neighbors. So those are the two site plan specific concerns that we are looking at.
Yeah, and I'd like to add, Chairman, that although the uses in a big development like this are not defined for us right now, the uses that are proposed are conforming, and the application, I think, has been somewhat realistic in the potential uses that go there, so far as to set forth perhaps 6 eat-in establishments, restaurants, bars, and though the presentation that way amends the parking calculus and the way that the planning department will review this, and also raises the bar a little bit for this board by taking the use and saying, well, we may need a special permit, which allows the board to scrutinize this even more stringently than if it was a full conforming use. So, but you get many applications where, especially in an economy during a time like this, where the ultimate tenants are not defined, you know, at this point.
Right. What other public, those were the two main public comments,
Those, I
right?
think, were
The
big
flooding,
ones
the
that I got
conditions
from the
there.
Summary and from what I've
Yes.
watched, they had submitted revisions prior to
Right.
that hearing that were under and are still under review.
Okay,
But those were two, I think, fair points that the public brought up that are good things for us to consider in planning and as the board. And I think things that I think will get addressed. Hopefully, it seems otherwise that
Mhm.
the general uses of the retail center were not generally looked negatively upon by the neighbors. It was more so addressing some of these specific concerns, which I think will be able to.
Yeah, just note, we're taking a hard look at the traffic. We're gonna get some comments back. And that's part of the secret determination is that it's not gonna have a significant adverse impact. So
Right.
that we're still working on.
okay. Any other questions, comments regarding that? No. Anything else? What's happening with Gus Wade? Anything?
Not
No?
yet.
I don't know at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just trying to think what else is out there. We got a little time to kill. We should at least, hang around for 20 minutes.
We do have a public hearing next week.
Yeah.
It's a modified application for Parkway Village Estates on Old Deer Park Avenue.
Yeah, what's that all about? Because I saw the sign every day when I drive past, and they're basically done.
Yeah, they are proposing a change to 8 units from 1-bedroom units to 2-bedroom units. That's their proposed change that they're requesting.
Do they have sufficient parking?
They do still meet their parking. They still have surplus
Okay.
parking based off those changes. Those are the things that we looked at in planning
Yeah.
and for the board's consideration at that hearing next week. But just a heads up regarding that matter. That's the only hearing that's on for next week, and it is public because while it is a modified, it's a significant enough of a change that would warrant a public hearing and was something that was definitely discussed at those hearings. So it will be a public hearing next week.
Is it Parkway or
Parkway Village Estates,
Parkway Village?
1851.
Yeah,
Yep, next to the school.
that's a big improvement for what was there. What do you think, Dan?
It looks, I mean, I love it. I personally,
Looks beautiful.
it looks beautiful. That they put the plants in, they fixed the sidewalk,
Yeah.
they moved the telephone poles.
No more Quonset hut?
What was wrong with the Quonset? I thought it was
There a
quaint.
huge Quonset hut.
I know, it's like the Quonset hut they finally took down in Bay Shore
Yeah,
at Farber Repair Shop, whatever it was. I think that was a brownfield,
yeah.
which most of those were. Since they just dumped everything in the ground back in the day.
Matt, I got a question on that. Where did these guys get the space to go from a 1-bedroom to a 2-bedroom? What was that space defined as before?
So these were 41-bedroom units, but they were 1-bedroom to the den.
Dan, okay, all right,
So they
okay.
were designed, with an open doorway and no closets and things of that nature.
Mhm.
So that's kind of where they're looking to make a switch on some of those units.
Has there been any complaints besides the one with the fallen tree in their backyard from that project at all?
Not that I'm aware of, since things have been going on and since it's been progressing. I agree. I mean, I've driven by, I've been to the site, some of the engineers for engineering inspections, and I think it came out pretty nice. I think they did a good job. And I'm not aware of any current complaints by any neighboring properties. I know they worked at the school, that fencing went up.
By the way, I'm so glad they didn't leave parking. I don't know whose idea that was in planning to have this. Parents drop their kids off in that parking area. That would have been a big mistake.
I think it worked out well.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks really nice
Worked out.
with the fencing next to the school.
Yeah, I think from my understanding, the school is happy with it. They got a new fence and it's 8 feet high and
Yeah.
gives adequate privacy for both parties involved. So I think they're satisfied as well.
Okay, good. Any other questions? No, any other topics? So what did everybody do for Thanksgiving?
Ate a lot of turkey.
Did you have a smaller, what about the
Yes,
meals?
1 out of 3 kids.
1 out of 3 kids, wow. How bad did you?
Bad.
You were crying.
One of them was,
I heard you were getting all choked up for an Irish guy.
oh, I'm a one. when it comes to kids. But one family actually came down and were positive. They had symptoms, very mild. The other one has the youngest of our crew.
Ah.
And we said, all right, no need. We
No.
just
No, just.
stay away. And beautiful day, played football with a
Yes.
couple of my grandkids, and that was
There you
it.
go. All right, there you go. It was a nice day. All right, no other business? Okay, we need a motion to adjourn. Julianne,
Motion to adjourn, 7:20.
7:20. I like the way you round those off. That helps with my arithmetic.